This guy, he was smarter than anyone else. He just felt that he knew the moment his feet hit the ground, he was going to be a free man.
First of all, congratulations on the show. I was seriously blown away by both of your performances. And I want to start with you, Haley, because I absolutely love the fact that Sydney carries around that soda bottle filled with alcohol in a couple of scenes. I feel like it tells us so much about her character. So what was the quirk or element for you that felt like this sort of key to unlocking her?
It reminds me, I once worked with an actor who carried around a Sprite bottle with...
Did you really?
Yeah. He carried around a Sprite bottle with, liquor in it.
Can I guess the name?
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
I
and also the music is really a part of the DNA of the show. And in the script, there would be side notes from John Bokenkamp of, the different songs that would be playing for the different, for different parts at different times. And so those were like little nuggets, like audio, visual nuggets that kind of would cue me into Sydney. But yeah, she is a character who's defined by her secrets, and who has to make a lot of morally ambiguous decisions to uncover the truth. And then she is sent to Alaska to, and she encounters this crisis, and she meets Frank Remnick, who is like a foil to her. And they are polar opposites, or seem to be polar opposites. But as the series continues, you realize that they are a lot more similar than they are different, and that they actually, I think they realize that they need each other more than they think they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there's like the physical aspect of the show, and then what I love about this is, and what there wasn't a lack of, is kind of real emotion and authenticity and human, human behavior, human dynamics. So, like these Mission Impossible movies, they're like these incredible summer blockbusters, but they don't always have the same kind of substance. And I really think that as the season continues, audiences will really grow to care about the characters and what they're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. I also feel like it doesn't have a lack of plot twists. I feel like I was always on the edge of my seat getting turned all around. And I feel like that starts from the very beginning, where Havelock is revealed to be impersonating this pilot. Dominic, how did you approach playing that, especially right at the beginning of the show like that?
I think it was the first week that I think I had to play the marshal first. I'm allowed to say this on this, aren't I? Am I allowed to say this?
Yes, you can talk spoilers.
Because you come out after, do you? Oh, great. Yeah, they were interesting conversations about what levels to perform that. You need to be convincing to that point, but you also... The surprise... I was constantly in a state of like, how much do I reveal? How much should I be good at hiding? How much should Havelock be good at acting? Right? So that is an interesting kind of concept in itself, that he's a Navy SEAL, he's a mathematician, he's a lecturer, all these things, but is he a good actor as well? Like, he's blindfolded and he has to perform. Now, it's life and death, that situation. And we are not aware as an audience at that point, which is such clever storytelling and writing, because you find out when his wife's life is at threat. You suddenly think that, oh my goodness, his wife is in the hands of a maniac. The guy had that, who is now this. He's the psychopath in the hospital bed. And then my job was then to be, because I never saw him as that. I always liked him, and it's been interesting.
Where the character goes. You know where he ends up.
People think he's a psychopath. People are going, "What's it like playing another?"
If you see only the first couple of episodes, you're like,
Yeah. And so that was what it was always so challenging and interesting for me, to constantly have a dialogue with John and the directors about what level at that point. And you shouldn't really be thinking about this, because I just thought, is this guy's great, he's doing it for the greater good. But actually, you've got to be careful, because how you say something or perform something, you've got to think, these guys think you're a psychopath at the moment. They think you're going to kill this person. You're in a basement recording it. We don't know what you're about. And that was a really interesting kind of constant dilemma that I was navigating. And I thought that was really enjoyable. And just as Hayley said, you had that, and you had complex emotion, and you had really well structured written monologues at times. And then you had kick out. You can't say kick ass because it sounds so silly in English. Kick ass action sequences, which were just such good fun to be part of, and so kind of inspired and different, and by a director who, in my opinion, has made some of the best fight sequences and in the last 10 years. In Extraction, I was blown away by them when I knew I was working with him and I watched it. I thought that they were momentous. And his brother is momentous. Brother, Sam directs, and then when Sam's going to go on overtime and they need to do some coverage and need to go back to fight scenes, Dan, his equally as talented brother, takes over. It's a combination made in heaven. Got very greasy hands now after that stuff.
You asked for it.
I asked for it.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned those monologues, which are so powerful and effective, but I can imagine there were some challenges with that, especially with the scientific dialogue that you guys are having to keep in your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought that was, for me, the most challenging aspect of the show was, the fact that I come from a very blue collar, place in America, and didn't relate to this kind of Latin-derived multi-syllable, sentences, and it's just 5 multi-syllable words in one sentence, and I'm like, I'm just a simpleton. I don't know how to perform this, and I was really overwhelmed by that, and also there's not a lot of time. There's so much to do, especially with an action,
I don't think you struggled with the long words. It was the short words.
It was the short words. It's if you're used to speaking in an Anglo-Saxon way, these long monologues, it's a special skill. So after, I made this film, I felt like, okay, I could do long words. I could do anything. Now. I could be on, The Pit, or I could play someone medical, because it really just it is like government. So doctors, hard. Lawyers, they are trained. They go to school to speak this way.
They do public speaking.
They do public speaking. Yeah. I don't have an education beyond high school, barely.
You made it look really easy,
and
may I say.
For me, that was so hard.
But what was the one thing that you didn't get? It was so funny. What was it? And they gave you that. I can't say this on air or whatever we're on because it's so rude. Because they had just, it was the something job. And you got
cover job,
and you got the intonation wrong. You could not say so. When I say you did the hard words really easily. Cover job, you kept putting the intonation.
I couldn't say cover job.
You say cover
job.
Oh my God! And it went on for 2 hours.
Oh my God!
And then I felt so sorry for you. I felt so sorry for you because
it went on for like a half hour. But yeah, I really struggled with the language, and so I feel like.
Yeah, you sold it so well. When I watched it, I'm like, you're so brilliant in it, and I thought that you had completely mastered your multi-syllable,
my fear of Latin words.
You're great.
I totally agree. You guys really sold that part. You also really sold the action, which I want to talk a little bit about the finale and what I want to call the Lion King moment almost, where Levi saves Sydney falling off that bridge. What was it like shooting that moment? What do you think was going through your characters' minds?
What is that moment in The Lion King?
I remember that was some of our last things. The Lion King is when he's falling. I remember that was one of the last things we shot together. And by which point we were fried but happy.
So fried.
Fried but happy is quite a good name of a shop. We ended up, we talk about
On the dam.
On the dam.
The sequence on the dam.
Sequence on the dam is also a nice title. Could be our Sequence on the Dam was meant to be on a dam.
That's our
What you
spin-off
realise
show.
happens on the dam, Sequence on the Dam is good.
Damn secrets. Damn secrets.
Yeah, very good. Damn sequence or secrets. On the dam, quickly, I'll tell you about the dam. The dam, we were meant to be on a real dam. We thought we were going to be on a real dam. Problems with dam is they're damn dangerous. And damn dangerous dams mean that damn film companies can't damn well dam on them.
Insure them.
Yeah, because it's really dangerous. And they went there and only 6 of them could be there. It was a nightmare. So they built the dam. This is what's great about working for Apple TV Plus, is they go, hey, this is too dangerous. Let's build a dam. Damn you. We'll build a dam. And so a dam was built, damn it. And our last scene together was hanging off at the edge of a dam, but with a blue screen. And we were laughing a lot by then. But it was wonderful because we knew who we were. We knew our characters really well. And we were clasping on for dear life.
Simba, save me.
Simba. What's the song? Simba saved her.
Simba.
Who saved Simba?
Titus
Andronicus.
Simba saved himself.
Mystery Soul.
Someone saved Simba.
I don't know.
Save Mufasa. That's all
I haven't seen it for a while.
That.
The Lion King we're talking about, are we?
Yes.
I get blamed for going off subject. I get blamed. This is nothing to do with me.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We got a great...
We're in trouble. We're in constant
all
trouble. I'm in trouble always.
I also want to ask, because the show also ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, with Levi obviously telling Frank that he and his corner of the world are now at the center of everything. And then we have Sydney smiling in the back of this van. What do you two think could sort of happen if we were lucky enough to get a season 2?
Well, I know what should happen.
You stole my ring.
I know.
Give it back.
Did you? When did you remember that?
I don't know. There's so many ways to go with it.
I mean, I think it should be the before. We go back in time.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel. You learn about the haves and the have-locks, and the and how they know each other, how they really know each other, and what that was like, and how they became who they became, and it should lead up to the crash, and then we should join it again.
Another plane crash?
No, the plane crash.
Oh man,
you see what I'm saying?
It's
so it covers half of that, and then we end with it's about their past, and obviously it runs simultaneously with Chicago, Sweet Home Chicago. No, not the musical. Okay. Where Frank's from.
Oh yeah.
What did Frank get up to in Chicago, and what we're doing? Plane crash, pitch.
Ooh.
Pitch.
You have to ask Jason that question. Jason's a producer, so he'll know more about it. We're
undercover producers.
We're just pawns in the game.
We shall be producers.
We'll manifest that. And that does lead into another good question that I had, which is, I do love that we get an entire flashback, that we sort of do see a little bit of their past and their background. I'm so curious, was it sort of like liberating to have that space to explore that? Or did it feel like a lot of pressure to finally have the truth come out in that way?
I think we were just excited to have more to explore and to work on. It felt like a different film. It felt like really a different world, a completely different flavor. So it was a nice breather from the Alaska world, and it was a great escape from Alaska to kind of.
I like Alaska though.
I like Alaska.
It informed what we were doing. So it came at helpful moments because there was a point when we were going to do it all at the end, because I was demanding a different haircut for the end, not because of that reason, but I thought it'd be quite interesting for us to visually look different. In fact, didn't we both want to?
I think I did.
You did as well. And then they would come around and went, "Don't be ridiculous. We can't film this."
Don't have time.
No, you don't have time. You can't do this. But we were going to, but actually it was in our favour because we could learn as we were making it what informed the latter stages. But it was so nice. Suddenly we were in a Parisian cafe. Was that the timer going off a truck outside? we were in a Parisian cafe and we were understanding who we were. And you also worked out, I worked out, how much can I say about us now? Can I say everything?
You can have spoilers.
You can say all of it, yeah.
Well, it was so beautiful to find out who they were when they were in love, how they fell in love. They fell in love. They're a beautiful couple. And that's a kind of brilliant reflection of marriage, or like a relationship that goes on and on. She dangles the kid and is about to kill him. That's how we're introed. She's ready to let him go, but then you see she's vulnerable and she's scared and she's actually...
a bit of the Mr.
beautiful.
and Mrs. Smith
it is.
aspect to it.
So with the prequel, you'll learn more. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The intrigue and the mystery and love and romance. So it's...
Yes. Perfect way to describe the show. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.
I really loved your performances, and I'm so excited for everyone to get to see it, and hopefully season 2 as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.